A lot of people don't know what America is. Joe Biden just made this statement. Joe Biden came out, he said, it's impossible to define what America is.
I've often said that America is the only nation in the world founded on an idea. Every other nation in the world is founded on basis of either that your geography or ethnicity or religion. You can define almost everyone else based on those characteristics, but you can't define an American. I defy you to tell me what constitutes an American. You can't do it. We're an incredibly diverse democracy. But there is one thing that does define us as a country. We're founded on an idea that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights.
Pause it right there. Did you catch the contradiction? I bet a lot of people didn't catch you, the listener, I'm sure did, but a lot of people listening to Joe Biden's droning, half-asleep speech probably did not. He said, you can't define Americans by their religion. You can't. I defy you to define an American by his religion. No, it's defined by an idea that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Hold on. Sounds kind of religious to me. You know, what are religions? Religions have ideas. They make certain claims about history, perhaps, about the world, about ideas, about what this whole world is, who we are in relation to the world. First of all, America is not just an idea. America has a creedal aspect to her character, but it's not just an idea. It's also geography. It's also specific people. It's also like things that have happened. You know, it's also the sea to shining sea and the Great Plains and all these things. But there is a creedal aspect to her character. And that creedal aspect is a religious idea that by definition excludes other ideas. If our country is founded on the idea that all men are created equal and endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, then America excludes atheism. It excludes it. It's not part of the American idea. If you are a militant, diehard atheist, we need to get religion out of all aspects of public life, you are anti-American. I'm sorry to tell you that. If you are one, I'm not saying if you're one of these amiable sort of agnostic types who just says, whatever, I don't really, I'm saying if you are knock down the 10 commandments at the courthouses kind of atheist, you're anti-American. According to Joe Biden's own logic, because America was founded on an idea, right? And the idea is a religious idea, that God endowed us with rights. So that, yeah, I can at least define an American in that way. Well, what is an American? Not bound by race. Well, that's true. I mean, there were, you can trace racial groups in the country. It was settled by Englishmen, right? That's just a fact of history. America was settled by Englishmen. Then, some Irish came in, then some, you'd say there were obviously African slaves brought over, but they were not considered citizens for quite a long time. There was a bloody civil war to resolve that problem. Then you had some waves of migration, and then you tamped down on migration. We had effectively closed borders for a long time. So yeah, you can kind of trace these things. Well, what binds us together then? One, that religious idea. How about language? Increasingly, we speak other languages in this country, but we speak English, right? It's all our documents are written in English. All our founding documents are written in English. We speak English on the street. So that binds us together. If you don't speak English, better learn it, because America speaks English for now, and we should. We're going to speak one language or another. Words are necessarily exclusive and discriminatory. They discern one thing from another. So you better learn it. And if you can't speak English, you are putting yourself outside of the American tradition. Freedom requires limits, as I have said many, many times. Now, Joe Biden doesn't understand that, and he's just given us his 2 cents. He's actually given us his 16 cents. The Biden administration actually bragged, I'm not joking, actually bragged that the cost of a 4th of July cookout is down this year. They said, because thanks to the policies of Joe Biden, the cost of a 4th of July cookout is down. You know how much? 16 cents. They put this, the White House social media accounts put out a graphic that said the cost of a 4th of July cookout in 2021 is down 16 cents from last year. Gas is through the roof, by the way. So but even if it were, even if you actually had, what is that to brag about? That's the best they could come up with, because the country is doing much, much worse under Joe Biden. That's it. And it's not even just the money, by the way. Obviously I want our economy to thrive. I want people to be able to be doing well and support their families. But there's more to it. And this is a mistake the right has made by focusing exclusively on economic matters, on plugging GDP up, for any and all excuses to do that, without any question about the wisdom of that. Whether we ship jobs overseas, whether we completely open up the border, it's totally fine. There are cultural issues here that matter too. Even when the cultural conservatives say politics is downstream of culture, well, okay, then there's more to life than 16 cents. I think that's true. There's more. The question is, who are we as a country? A country is going to be defined not by its expansiveness, but by its limits. No matter how expansive the country is, no matter how broad-minded the country is, whether it's very narrow-minded, very broad-minded, the thing that will define it will be the limits. A nation is defined by its borders. A culture is defined by the borders of what it believes, what it thinks about itself, what it says. This is why speech is so fundamental. I think this is why the book hit #1 on Amazon. Why my book, Speechless, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds, hit #1. It's because it's not just, I think the book is really terrific, but I think it's because we know that this issue is what's at stake here. This issue is going to define the country. What is it that we say? What is it that we believe? What is it that we're celebrating on the 4th of July for those of us who celebrate it? Hey, hold up. I hope you liked that clip. If you did, we got a whole episode. America Goes Through Puberty. That's the title of the episode. I'm not just stating that, but it is true. Matthew McConaughey made a good point. Head on over, ring the bell, subscribe, check out the full episode. You can also get it on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and the Michael Knowles Show podcast. And you can also order my book, which hit #1 on all books on Amazon, thanks to wonderful readers like you. Speechless, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds. I'll see you next time.